All right, guys, let's get into this. We are at week 2 of our March reviews here. A couple physical titles to talk about, a couple streaming titles to talk about. And the first 2 titles here were both sent to me by Mill Creek Home Entertainment to review for you guys. The first, I also misplaced the title as well, but yeah. The first title here is Stop or My Mom Will Shoot on Blu-ray. And this was a movie that I watched as a kid. I remember really enjoying this as a kid. A lot of people were excited. This was finally coming to Blu-ray. I don't even know if this had a DVD release. Maybe it did, and it might not have. It might be VHS, and then it finally came to Blu. So anyway, I grew up watching this as a young kid. This came out in 92, so I was 8 years old. Estelle Getty and Sylvester Stallone. And as a 36-year-old, though, this movie does not hold up for me. I found Estelle Getty's character to be kind of annoying. It's very cartoonish police station stuff going on that I didn't think was realistic. The performances in the film were pretty rough and tough to get through. Bridget said something that I kind of thought was funny and totally agree with. Estelle Getty's character was very reminiscent of Joe Pesci's mom in Goodfellas. So the stereotypical like Italian mother sort of thing. There's the Stop or My Mom Will Shoot, the regular release, and the retro slipcover. So yeah, this just didn't hold up for me. Jo Beth Williams co-stars in it as Sylvester Stallone's boss / love interest. Just didn't do it for me, and I gave this a 1.5 out of 5. Stop or My Mom Will Shoot. Some people are going to be super nostalgic for it. My nostalgia did not hold up over time, so did not love this one. Next up was another title from Mill Creek that was sent to me, and that is Gorillas in the Mist, The Adventures of Diane Fossey, starring Sigourney Weaver there. The movie was incredibly well done. Features an excellent performance by Sigourney Weaver as the lead, Diane Fossey. It basically is based on a book about her experience in Africa, and she was hired to study gorillas, and I believe she was there to count them. And they basically, what they meant by that was there were people killing the gorillas. They were being basically endangered because people were using them for food and, to make bags and different things. It's awful. And she gets hired to count the gorillas and basically ends up feuding with the poachers and other characters in the film. Like I said, it's based on a true story, and some things that happen in this movie are absolutely crazy. The movie is also very sad in parts, also heartwarming in parts. But I really, really enjoyed this. I thought it was very well done. Brian Brown from FX is also in it. But I enjoyed the movie quite a bit. I give it a 4 out of 5. I thought Gorillas in the Mist was an excellent film. Not one that I necessarily would rewatch or would have a lot of rewatchability in my opinion. But I still enjoyed this quite a bit. So I would highly recommend Gorillas in the Mist, especially if you have not seen it. Next up, and I cannot find this Blu-ray, and I don't know how or why it happened, but so be it. It was also sent to me by Mill Creek, and it's a movie called The Cowboy Way, which starred Woody Harrelson and Kiefer Sutherland. It was basically about a couple buddies who were both in a rodeo, and Kiefer Sutherland's father figure gets kidnapped, and he had a daughter, and the daughter is being used for labor over in New York, and they're out in like New Mexico, and they've never been in the city. Woody Harrelson's the highlight of the film for me. He's pretty funny in this movie, but it's a pretty standard and predictable formula. Definitely not something new or offering anything exciting. Was pretty entertaining though, kept me interested and intrigued, but not something I would ever really need to revisit again personally. I give it a 2.5 out of 5, The Cowboy Way. I don't have it here to hold, I apologize. Next up was an HBO Max movie, one of the ones that is debuting day and date in theaters, and that is Tom and Jerry. So I went into this movie with zero expectations. had RJ this weekend that we watched it. He said he would watch it. You know, the convenience of it being there on HBO Max to watch a first-run movie was very nice. The animation was an incredible distraction to me. There were no shadows done. I personally think the animation in Who Framed Roger Rabbit from 33 years ago that interacted with live-action people was much better done and much more well done. You know, I know Tom and Jerry don't talk at all, the original Tom and Jerry, but it just felt like a bit of a distraction. I also thought it was interesting how they had live action people and all the animals in the movie were animated, so none of the animals were real, which was kind of interesting. But Tom and Jerry not talking for like a 5 to 10 minute short is fine, but when they're the stars of an hour and 40-minute movie, didn't really translate well for me. I know that I'm not the target audience. I know that RJ is probably grown out of the target audience for this movie. So, yeah, that hurts it. And in my opinion, the cast is pretty unlikable in the movie and just weren't given a lot. The script wasn't very good in my opinion. So I give Tom and Jerry a 1 out of 5. I do not recommend it. I did not care for it at all. So that was rough. And then I had the place to myself, and I like to pick out dude flicks when it's just me here. And the dude flick I chose that night, which was like a Sunday evening, I believe, was the movie Boss Level, which had just come to Hulu, starring Frank Grillo and Mel Gibson. I saw the trailer and I was intrigued. It looked like a fun action comedy, but it was also a time loop film. And as you guys know, there is no shortage of time loop films, especially in the last like 5 to 6 years. Happy Death Day 1 and 2, Palm Springs, The Map of Tiny Perfect Things, Edge of Tomorrow, lots of time loop films. This is an action film where basically a guy wakes up in the morning and he's being chased by multiple people. There's a helicopter with a machine gun shooter right outside his room. There's just craziness, and Frank Grillo's the lead. He offers some humor. The violence is pretty fun in the movie. But it's one of those movies like, yeah, I watched it once. It was a fun watch. Don't need to sit through it again. Definitely not on the same level as, you know, Palm Springs or Happy Death Day 1, Edge of Tomorrow. Definitely not on the same level, but still enjoyable. The ending of the movie, in my opinion, hurt this movie quite a bit because I found myself starting to lose interest in the third act instead of my interest ramping up for a conclusion. That's not good when you have a 90-minute action comedy that's basically like a video game in real life. So I gave the movie a 3 out of 5. It's still a fun watch. I would definitely recommend it, but it's not going to be anything that like is prioritized, put at the top of your list. It's only available on Hulu for now. So Boss Level, 3 out of 5. That is it, guys. That is everything I watched week 2 of March 2021. Thank you guys as always for watching. Be sure to check out the description box down below for links to my Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. I had a drink before the video and I've been holding that burping. Letterboxd where I rate and review all the movies that I watch. My eBay store, Amazon wishlist, Blu-ray.com profile, email address, P.O. box can all be found down below. The trailer and pre-order information for the documentary Movie Hoarders that I will be a part of is down below. And I believe that is everything. Also, guys, be sure to give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Leave some comments down below. Hit the bell notification if you don't already so you guys know when new videos of mine drop. Even though the schedule is still Tuesday and Friday, and that is going to be the schedule for the immediate future. So do all that stuff. Thank you guys for watching. And until next time, who's down to movie? Bye. Bye.